Marvel Rivals Season 9 is going to break the internet. If I had known just how insane this update was going to be, I honestly wouldn't even make the video I made the day prior. Because a part of me knew this was going to be a big update, but I didn't think it was going to change the entire landscape of the game as we know it. I thought it was going to lean more towards just like a normal standard update. And for the first 10 minutes of the stream, that's pretty much what everyone thought. Then they completely threw us for a loop. First, I got to hand it to the devs, man. I got to hand it to Big Double G and Zeong. You guys absolutely popped off, and I think literally not a single person was expecting Season 9 to be even close to how big it's going to actually end up being. All the way from the overshow changes to the team ups to the new map coming a little later down the road. Obviously, Jubilee being the new character that's coming out. There's so much to unpack that I think just trying to do this in one video is not going to be possible. Now, before I get into my personal opinions of how I really feel about this new update, let me just say this. I think that everybody is going to have to relearn the game in the best way possible. And also, as a sidebar, this is a perfect time to mention, if you're somebody who is concerned about the balance within this first month of this new season, respectfully, I need you to relax. And I'm not talking about somebody who's just concerned with the balance. I'm talking about somebody who's still going to complain the entirety of the time post the launch of this update, which granted, I get it. And this is coming from somebody who does complain a lot about this game. I have complained a lot about this game in the past, and I am very critical when it comes to balance, when it comes to the devs. 1,000,000,000% I am. I am very critical about that stuff. But just for a second, we need to appreciate what we just got. We just got an entire new overhaul of the game, essentially. I'm almost certain that a lot of people are going to drop significantly in their ranked matches because everybody, and I mean every single person, is going to have to relearn the game. The only small concern I do have is the pro players. The pro players are going to be playing on the new update instead of the old one, which is a little bit crazy because like they're going to have to like learn everything like really damn fast. But at the end of the day, the pros, I think they'll figure it out. A lot of people I've seen though are already up in arms about the balancing and how the balance is going to feel and how the game is going to feel. Look, the balancing, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, is going to sort itself out. I have very high hopes that the balancing is going to sort itself out. And if it doesn't, they can reel everything back in. I think about it in a similar light to when Fortnite came out with Chapter 2 Season 1. The game was beyond all over the place. You had the POIs with zombies and prop hunt. You had tacos and greasy. You had Tilted Town. You had all these crazy ass POIs. You had the crazy weapon pool and the mechs too. Chapter 1 Season X of Fortnite was all over the place. Then Chapter 2 Season 1 came out and then completely zapped the game back to just like a whole new beginning. And it basically felt like bare bones all over again. If the game gets to a point where it feels like too much, the devs could, I'm not saying they will do this or they need to do this, but the devs could always just reel everything back in. If they actually get to a point where the game is just all over the place and there's absolutely no sense of balance months down the line, they can just reel everything back in. They have the ability to do that. So relax. All right, now the team up changes. Outside of the fact that I do think it's crazy that 102 team ups just got dropped 3 weeks before land, which I will be attending, by the way, shout out. I think what this update simultaneously did on all fronts, A, they solved the tank issue. B, they kind of solved the problem of like 80% of the game being DPS players because everyone's going to want to try out new characters and new team ups and pretty much stuff they've never seen before or tried before. And then 3, they also address half the support roster being stuck in triple support jail. And this is literally what I was saying in the last video. If you rework some kits or you just bring a new team up, it's going to feel like playing an entirely new game. And while yes, 102 team ups does sound like a lot, it really does. And it is a lot. You guys have to keep in mind that a lot of these team up abilities legitimately have like 15 to 30 second cooldown. People are talking about like, oh, the visual clutter, it's going to be sensory overload. Like, I really don't see how this is going to be too different from how the game already was. Like, at the end of the day, there's still only going to be 6 players per team. And every single team up gives every character maybe 1 extra ability, maybe 2 extra abilities, and that's about it. The game was already sensory overload as it was. I don't think adding 2 extra abilities is going to make it insanely worse. And I'm pretty sure if you were used to the game up until this point, I don't think it's going to be that much different. It's just a hot take from me. You guys can have your own opinion on that. But overall, I think it's going to be fine. People are going to get adjusted to it in like a couple weeks to a month. I don't see that being a big issue. The next conversation that's kind of running around is like the meta. What's the meta going to be? Who's going to be meta? And I promise you, in regards to my chat, in regards to YouTube comment section, TikTok comment section, like everybody's chat, especially Twitter, I've heard everything. Hella's going to be meta. Dive is going to be meta. Hulk is going to be permaban. This is going to be permaban. Support's going to be too strong. Triple support is going to be too strong. Legitimately, I've heard everything under the sun as to what's going to be too strong and what's going to be weak. And quite frankly, I need everybody to chill out for a second. Don't get me wrong. I understand why everyone's up in arms right now. This is a lot of information that was handed to us in one live stream. So it's natural that these reactions are going to come about. But I need everyone to chill out just for a second. I think overall what's going to happen with this update, and I do hope that this does happen, is that it's going to be basically season 0, like, but just times 2. Where because people were figuring out the game, every playstyle was viable. If you have a solid dive team and you know exactly what to ban and how to utilize your team ups, you can thrive. If you have a good team who's really good at poking, has good aim, and you ban the right stuff and use the right team ups, you can pop off and beat a dive team. I think what this update is going to do is that now there's strategy in the team ups you use, the strategy in the ban phase, and there's strategy in just pretty much more than there was before outside of just like, oh, just ban group, ban gambit, win. And one thing I didn't mention yet, which is crazy, is that now the ban phase is probably going to be be as diverse as it's ever going to be, because now it's not just going to be ban Groot Gambit and just see what happens. No, now it's like you have to ban based on what your team is trying to play. I don't think people are going to be playing dive teams and then banning Hawkeye. Like, it's just not going to happen. And in the same vein, I don't think that people that are playing snipe teams are going to ban Brawl. Like, it doesn't make sense. I promise you want to talk about diversity, you're going to essentially see like 12 different characters every single game. Now, will there be a meta? Most likely, yeah. But I don't think that one meta is going to by far just trump everything else in the game. I don't think that's going to be a thing. And if it does, then hey, like, I guess I'll shut my mouth then. I'm sorry. Also, I just want to point out, overall as a stream, this dev stream was by far the best this game has ever seen. Cinematically, how they paced everything, how they handled everything was just, obviously you can tell they actually listen to the community a lot. I truly believe these devs are some of the best we've ever seen, which is why I have high hopes for the balancing. I don't think the balancing is going to be as chaotic and horrible as people think it's going to be. Obviously, for the first few weeks to a month, I don't have high expectations for this to be this amazingly balanced competitive game, but is it going to be fun? Hell yeah. So just relax for a bit and have some damn fun. This is going to be the best shit we've ever played in a minute. And I personally have very, very high hopes for it. Also, kudos to that Black Widow rework. That's legit, like, I think what everybody was asking for. People have been asking for a Widow rework for the past, I don't know how many months. And I made a joke on stream, but I think it looks uncannily similar to that J3 video where the dude was hacking on Widow and then he turned the primary into an automatic. Listen, it looks eerily similar. I'm just saying, that guy's got a suit. I'm joking. Also, I'm going to be so real. If I see one more of the Widow mains complaining about the Widow rework, I'm going to lose my mind. They ruined her uniqueness. Now she's every other... Bro, shut up. It's not that big a deal. To an extent, do I understand the frustration? I guess kind of, yeah, because like you took all this time to learn a character that was seen as horrible and then you actually got really good at it. And now they are reworking the character for the 99% of the player base who didn't even play the character because of how bad it was. But at the same time, 99% of the player base didn't play the character, so they had to rework it. So it's like to a degree, I really do get the frustration. But at the end of the day, some of y'all are the same people that will complain about pros whenever they want the balance to be centered around them, even though the pros make up 0.01% of the entirety of the rivals player base. But now when a character like Widow gets balanced for the 99% of the player base who don't play her so that maybe they would try her, all of a sudden now they should balance around the 0.1 or 1% of the people who do actually play that character. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm chipping on that comparison, but like, you can't have it both ways, because some of y'all literally are the same people complaining about pros wanting the balance to be around them. Anyway, next thing. Outside of the team ups, one of the biggest game changers in this update is that health regeneration. People heard the health regeneration and thought, oh my goodness, dive is going to be so busted. And naturally, it's the people who don't really know how dive works. You still need to wait for your cooldowns to be up to go back in and dive. You can't just wait for your health to come back and then dive again immediately. That's not how things work. I feel like this update is also going to encourage just way more amazing communication. Teams who know how to communicate a lot better and people know how to communicate a lot better are going to win more games. And that's not even a question. People heard the part about regenerative shields and lost their minds thinking dive is going to be busted. This specific change is just to help healers just like focus on the people who they can actually see and heal instead of the divers that are just flying around the map. By the way, there's health packs anyway. This does help dive, but this also helps healers focus on the people that need to be healed, who can't just zip in and out of danger and then try to go get health packs. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a two-way street here. I think the pre-select team up abilities is also going to be really good. And again, I think people need to understand that these team up abilities have very long cooldowns usually. They usually range from 10 to 15 to 30 seconds. It's not going to be just ravaging the entire match. I could be underplaying it, so take what I say with a grain of salt, but I think we're going to be okay. And a few weeks down the line, we're going to be used to it. If you played Overwatch, it's going to kind of be like the upgrades from Overwatch. I think it's going to be nothing more than that. And I think people are going to be okay. It's going to be fine. I promise. I also love these memes that people are posting about the ban phase where it's like, we don't know what to ban. I think this is literally the point. I think there's going to be a lot of confusion with the ban phase, but also no confusion. I think as long as you have communication, you know exactly what to ban. Just ban for your team. This is where all the strategy amongst the ban phase comes out, because whoever bans the correct stuff more wins. And also double banning is obviously going to be annoying, but also I don't think double banning is going to happen anyway, because if everybody's banning for their team comp, I don't think double banning is going to happen nearly as often anyway, because people aren't just going to be spamming Gambit and Groot like 24/7. So there you go. So overall, just to wrap this video up, I think every single person who plays Rivals at all is eating. There's not going to be a one size fits all meta, especially in the beginning. Everyone's just going to have to figure everything out again in the best way possible. And I think just like, regardless of what role you play, you're going to have a lot of content on your hands. I think this simultaneously solves the tanking problem, because there's just so many team ups to play with. Like, I just remembered there was a Thor Angela team up. Like, excuse me? I think supports are eating, because now let's say you hate dive. Now you have more abilities to deal with dive. Like with the pre-selected team ups, right? If you're a support player who legitimately hates dive, you can pick a team up ability that helps you deal with dive. And then in that same vein, if you're a DPS main who loves dive, you can pick a team up ability that helps you like add to your combo to help dive. And then that matchup can just come down to who the better player is. If you're the better diver, then they are support player, you should win. And then if I'm the better support player than you are diver, then I should win. It just literally just depends on who is just better at the game at that point. I truly believe that that's pretty much what this game game is going to come down to, especially in the next couple weeks, is just who is the better player. Which team strategizes better, which team communicates better, which team bans better, and which team picks the better team ups. And also, I want to add on to this. I don't know if they ever implement this in ranked, but they can definitely implement this in pro play. But what they should do is definitely add some sort of team up banning phase as well. Because there's so many team ups, and out of the 100 team ups that were added, I know there's going to be a few that really make a much bigger impact than the other one. Like I said, if not ranked, at least in pro play, just to make pro play a little bit more interesting to watch on that end as well. I think some type of team up banning phase is going to happen. Somebody in my chat mentioned that they can have like the same ban system, then have one team up ban. That could be really cool, like one team up ban per team. I don't know, that's a possibility as well. The overall, everybody's eating. I don't think any player got the short end of the stick, except for the Rocket mains. I think Rocket got kind of left behind. I ain't gonna lie. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is more of just my initial off the cuff reaction to the new season update. I have a lot of follow-up videos coming out in regards to the team ups, the changes, this everything else is going to come with this new season. Hope you guys look out for that, and hope you guys enjoyed this video as well. Hope you guys stay frosty. Hope you guys enjoy the new season. Let me know your thoughts. Please comment down below how you feel about the new season, because this is a lot to unpack, and I know a lot of you guys have different opinions on it and how everything's going to play out. But as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Love you. Peace.